My friend, let us begin with something simple but powerful. Nothing changes until you take action. You may think about your goals. You may dream about a better life. You may plan every single detail of what you want. But dreams, thoughts, and plans do not create results. Only action does. And here is the truth that many people avoid. Action is not always easy. Action can be uncomfortable, sometimes even painful. But action is what separates those who succeed from those who only wish. If you want to improve your English, if you want to succeed in your career, if you want to become healthier, then you must move, you must act, you must do something now. Action is like fire. Once you light it, it burns stronger with every step. But if you never strike the match, the fire never comes alive. That is why you must force yourself. Yes, force yourself to take that first step. Think for a moment about the times in your life when you waited too long. Maybe you wanted to learn a new skill, but you told yourself, I will start next week. Maybe you thought about exercising, but you said, tomorrow is a better day. Maybe you wanted to read a book or practice English, but you said, I am too tired today. Days became weeks, weeks became months, and suddenly a year passed. What changed? Nothing. The dream was still a dream, the goal was still on paper, and your life stayed the same. Why? Because you did not act. You did not force yourself to take the step. You see, motivation is not always waiting for you. Motivation does not always knock on your door. Motivation is unreliable. But discipline, the act of forcing yourself to do what is necessary, will carry you forward. This is the secret many people never learn. Do not wait for the right mood, create the right habit. You may say, but action is hard. I don't feel ready. Let me tell you something important. You will never feel completely ready. The truth is, readiness is a myth. People who achieve great things were not ready when they began. They were scared. They were unsure. They made mistakes. But they moved forward anyway. They acted before they felt ready. And that is what you must do too. If you wait until you are confident, you will wait forever. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes after action. The more you do, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more confident you feel. And that cycle keeps building. So, when you hear that little voice inside you saying, wait, you are not ready, answer it boldly, I will start anyway. Because waiting for the perfect moment is like waiting for rain in a desert. It may never come. But when you act, you create your own rain. You create growth. Now let us connect this lesson to learning English. Many learners spend years thinking about how they will study. They look for the best books, the best teachers, the best apps, and the best methods. They watch videos about learning English. They read articles about improving fluency. They collect knowledge. But what they often do not do is the simple act of practice. They do not speak. They do not listen. They do not write. They do not force themselves into action. Remember, my friend, English is not learned by theory alone. It is learned by use. If you want to get better at listening, you must listen every single day. If you want to get better at speaking, you must open your mouth and speak, even if your voice shakes. The more you act, the faster you improve. Do not let your brain trick you into waiting. Do not wait until you feel ready to speak perfect English. Speak now. Make mistakes. That is how you grow. Think of your mind like a garden. If you plant seeds but never water them, they will not grow. If you only think about watering them but never lift a hand, the soil stays dry. But the moment you take action, the moment you pour water, the seeds begin to live. The same is true for your life. Ideas are seeds, dreams are seeds, but only action is water. And without action, your garden of dreams stays empty. That is why forcing yourself to take action is not cruelty, it is kindness. It is the way you water your own future. Sometimes you will not feel like watering the garden. Sometimes you will want to rest. But if you want the flowers to bloom, you must discipline yourself to act. So I ask you, what dream in your life is still waiting for water? What seed is still dry? Today is the day to stop waiting. Today is the day to take the watering can into your hands. Every person has an enemy inside them, and this enemy is called resistance. Resistance whispers in your ear, don't do it now, do it later. Resistance tells you, stay comfortable, stay safe, stay the same. Resistance is not loud, it is quiet, gentle, and sneaky. It tries to protect you from discomfort. But the truth is, growth only comes from discomfort. If you want to improve your English, you will feel resistance every day. It will tell you, I am too tired to practice today. It will say, I will start tomorrow. It will say, maybe I will never be fluent. Do not listen to this voice. This voice is not your friend. It is your prison. The way to defeat resistance is simple. Act before it grows stronger. Do not argue with it. Do not debate with it. Just move. Open your book. Play the English audio. Repeat the sentence. Write the paragraph. Once you begin, resistance weakens. Once you start, you win. Let me give you a powerful image. Resistance is like a heavy door. If you look at it, you think it is impossible to move. You feel weak, you feel afraid, and you hesitate. But the moment you push, the door begins to open. And as it opens, you realize it was never as heavy as you imagined. The first push is the hardest, but once you start, momentum carries you forward. This is why the most important part of action is the beginning. Do not worry about finishing the whole task. Do not worry about doing it perfectly. Focus only on starting. If you want to read a book in English, just read one page. If you want to practice speaking, just say one sentence out loud. If you want to write, just write one paragraph. When you start small, you break the door of resistance. And once the door is open, walking through becomes natural. The beginning is your victory. Building habits is how you win against resistance again and again. A habit is an action that becomes automatic, something you do without thinking. Imagine brushing your teeth. You do not ask yourself, should I brush today? You just do it. Now imagine if English practice became the same. Every morning you automatically listened to 10 minutes of English. Every afternoon you automatically repeated new words. Every evening you automatically reviewed your notes. It would no longer feel like a fight, it would feel like breathing. That is the power of habit. But how do you create it? You start small and you stay consistent. Do not try to study for 3 hours on the first day. That is like trying to lift 100 kilograms when you have never lifted before. Instead, lift something small every day. Practice 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Do it daily, and the habit grows stronger, like a muscle. One day, what felt difficult will feel natural. Here is another truth. Success is not about intensity, it is about consistency. Many people get excited for one day, maybe 2, and they work very hard. But then they stop. They wait for motivation to return. They start again, stop again, and never build momentum. That is like running fast for 1 minute and then sitting for an hour. You will never reach your destination. But if you walk slowly, step by step, and never stop, you will arrive. The same is true with English. Studying once a week for 3 hours will not help you as much as studying every day for 30 minutes. It is not about how much you do in one day, it is about how often you repeat it. Success is not built in one moment of passion, it is built in many small actions repeated daily. So, do not wait for the big moment. Focus on small steps repeated again and again until they shape your future. Think of your brain like a path through the forest. At first, there is no path, only tall grass and trees. Walking is difficult, slow, and uncomfortable. But if you walk the same way every day, step by step, the grass bends down. The path becomes clearer. Soon, walking becomes easier, faster, and natural. This is how habits are formed in your brain. Every time you practice English, you walk through the forest. At first, it feels difficult. You must think about every word. You must repeat sentences many times. But as you continue, the path in your brain grows stronger. Soon, you no longer struggle. You understand more. You speak faster. You listen with less effort. And one day, English feels natural, like walking on a clear road. But this road only exists if you walk every day. If you stop, the forest grows again. That is why daily action is so important. It keeps your path open and alive. Taking action is not only about finishing tasks. It is about becoming a new person. Every time you act, you build a new identity. When you practice English daily, you stop being someone who wants to learn English and you become an English learner. When you wake up early to study, you stop being someone who wishes for success and you become a disciplined person. Identity grows from repeated actions. And once your identity changes, your life changes. Think about this carefully. If you want to be a reader, read. If you want to be a writer, write. If you want to be confident in English, speak. The action defines the person. The habit builds the character. And when your character grows, your world expands. So do not only focus on the result, focus on the identity you are building. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? Then force yourself to act like that person every day until it is no longer forced but natural. Action has another secret. It creates energy. You may think resting gives energy, but often resting only creates more laziness. Action, on the other hand, awakens the body and the mind. Think about the times you did not want to exercise. At first, you felt tired. But once you started moving, once your blood began to flow, suddenly you felt alive, even more awake than before. This is the same with studying, with working, with speaking English. The first few minutes feel heavy, but then your brain becomes active, alert, and sharp. Energy comes from movement, not from waiting. That is why people who act always seem to have more energy than those who do not. They are not special. They are not born different. They simply create energy by acting. So, if you want more energy in life, stop waiting for it to arrive. Force yourself to act, and the energy will follow. Now let us talk about fear. Fear is one of the strongest reasons people avoid action. Fear of failure, fear of mistakes, fear of judgment. But here is the truth. Mistakes are not your enemy, they are your teacher. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is feedback. If you avoid mistakes, you avoid growth. Think of a child learning to walk. The child falls many times, but the child does not stop. The child does not say, "Walking is too hard, I will never try again." The child continues, falls again, stands again, until walking becomes natural. Why should you be different? When you speak English and make a mistake, it is not proof of weakness, it is proof of progress. Every error is a step closer to fluency. Do not fear mistakes. Fear the silence of never trying. Fear the empty life of never acting. Mistakes are proof that you are alive, proof that you are learning. Another powerful truth: opportunities only appear to those who act. Imagine two people. One stays at home, thinking, dreaming, planning, but never moving. The other takes action, meets people, speaks English, learns skills, tries new things. who will see more opportunities? Of course, the one who acts. Life rewards movement. Doors open when you knock. Paths appear when you walk. But if you sit still, the world passes you by. Many people wait for luck. They wait for a miracle. They wait for the perfect chance. But opportunity is not given, it is discovered, and discovery only happens when you act. If you want better work, you must apply. If you want better English, you must practice. If you want better health, you must exercise. Waiting is death, acting is life. So do not wait for opportunity to knock. Go outside, knock on every door, create your own chance. Life belongs to those who act. Let us return again to English learning. Think about the opportunities that will open when you improve. You will be able to connect with more people around the world. You will be able to study in new countries. You will be able to apply for better jobs. You will be able to read books and listen to ideas that you never had access to before. English is not just a language, it is a bridge to opportunity. But this bridge is not built by dreaming, it is built by action. Every time you listen, every time you repeat, every time you read, every time you write, you lay another stone on that bridge. One day, when you look back, you will see a strong bridge connecting your present to your future. But you must start laying the stones today. Do not let the bridge remain unfinished. Do not let your dreams remain far away. Act daily, and the bridge will carry you forward. Discipline is the art of doing what you must do, even when you do not want to. It is the ability to say, "Yes, I am tired, but I will still study." It is the strength to say, "Yes, I am busy, but I will still practice." It is the courage to say, "Yes, I am afraid, but I will still try." Discipline is freedom. Why? Because when you control yourself, nothing else controls you. Laziness does not control you. Fear does not control you. Excuses do not control you. You become free because you are the master of yourself. Think about it, many people are slaves, not to other people, but to their own emotions. They only act when they feel like it. But feelings change. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel weak. If you only act on feelings, your life will never be stable. But if you act on discipline, your life becomes powerful, steady, and free. Sometimes, the biggest action you must take is small. Do not underestimate small actions. A small seed can grow into a giant tree. A single drop of water can create ripples across a lake. One small step, repeated daily, can change your life forever. Do not wait for the chance to do something huge. Do something small today. Listen to 5 minutes of English. Write 10 new words. Read 1 page. Record your voice speaking 1 sentence. These actions may feel small, but they are the building blocks of greatness. Remember, a house is not built in one day. It is built brick by brick. Your English, your career, your health, your future, it will all be built the same way with many small actions. So, never say, "This is too small." Say instead, "This is my brick for today." And brick by brick, day by day, your life will become the house of your dreams. Another important lesson: surround yourself with people who act. Action is contagious. If you spend time with people who always wait, who always complain, who always say, "Maybe tomorrow," you will become like them. But if you spend time with people who move, who try, who practice, who take risks, you will feel inspired to do the same. This is why your environment is so important. If you want to improve your English, join groups where people speak English. Watch content where people are learning and growing. Connect with friends who practice. Do not isolate yourself. Do not hide in silence. Find an environment where action is normal, where progress is celebrated. When you walk with runners, you begin to run. When you walk with dreamers, you begin to dream. But when you walk with doers, you begin to do. Choose your people wisely, for they will either push you forward or pull you back. Let me remind you of something important. Action today is better than perfection tomorrow. Perfection is a trap. Many learners think, I must speak perfectly before I open my mouth. Many dreamers think, I must have the perfect plan before I begin. But perfection is impossible without practice, and practice means starting imperfectly. The great speakers you admire, the great writers you read, the successful people you watch, they all began imperfectly. They made mistakes. They felt embarrassed. They failed many times. But they kept moving, and because they moved, they improved. Do not fear imperfection. Embrace it. Speak with mistakes. Write with errors. Practice with weakness. Every imperfect action is better than a perfect dream, because the dream does not change your life, but the action does. So, stop waiting for perfect. Begin now, messy, broken, and unsure. Tomorrow, you will be stronger. The day after, you will be better. Perfection will come through practice, not before it. And now, my friend, we arrive at the final message. Force yourself to take action every single day. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the right mood. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Act now. Speak now. Practice now. Life is short, and every day is a chance that will never return. If you waste today, it is gone forever. But if you use today, it becomes the foundation of your future. Action is the key to growth. Action is the key to success. Action is the key to fluency in English and to freedom in life. So, I challenge you, after listening to this, do not just think, do not just agree. Do something. Write one sentence in English. Speak one line. Listen again to this audio. Take action immediately. Because the habit of acting now is the most powerful habit you can build. Your dreams are waiting, your future is waiting, and the only way forward is action.